All right, guys, today's Wednesday. Generally our more gymnastics heavy day, working on our body weight strength. So we'll start off the day with 3 rounds. This won't be for time. You're just going through the movements, working on your technique, your strength through these movements here. We're starting with a strict handstand push-up first. We'll be doing it at a tempo, so we're going 2 seconds down, 1 second pause. When we kick up to the wall here, as we go down, making sure we're keeping our elbows over our wrists. So 2 seconds down, 1001, 1002, 1 second pause, pressing out fast out of there. Okay. If you don't have a strict handstand push-up, we can do kipping, still keeping it explosive. Maybe we add a couple ab mats here so that you feel comfortable going down that range of motion. We can also just work on negatives. So just going down that 2 seconds, pause for a second, kick down, and then kick back up to the wall. If we don't have that or don't feel comfortable going on the wall, we can always go downward dog version here. Rocking up to the toes, still trying to keep the elbows over our wrists. When we go down that 2 seconds, 1 second pause, and then pressing our hips back, driving back that way. So trying to keep those same mechanics for the overhead press. After that, we'll get into some shoot-throughs. We'll use the parallettes for this. Parallettes will be about shoulder width apart, or about from elbow to fingertips, close to that. I'll keep my elbows locked out. I'm going into a push-up position. I'm gonna tuck my knees in here and shoot them out front. Okay, when I'm shooting them out front, I wanna make sure my hips are up here. I'm in this reverse plank position. When I come back through, I'm bringing those knees up, keeping my elbows locked out, and going back into that high plank position. Okay, if this is a little bit of a struggle, we can always put something underneath the parallettes, or maybe put some boxes up so that we're a little bit higher, so that we can get our body back and forth through there. Next, we have bottom of a push-up hold. So we'll go back to that high plank position, keeping the shoulders down and back. We will go down, we'll hold this here, keeping the core, butt tight, shoulders in a good position, trying to keep those elbows pretty close to over the wrists here as we're holding that head up. We can increase the height there and still work on that position. Okay, if it's a struggle to keep that midline tight in that push-up position, we can always go a little bit higher. All right. And then we've got a ring row hold. So we're pushing there, now we're pulling, setting yourself up in a challenging position, shoulders down, driving the elbows towards the hips, keeping the rib cage down, and that head pulled back, chin in. Okay, you can always make that more challenging, bringing the feet in, or maybe placing your feet up onto boxes. After we get through 3 rounds of that, we'll get into some conditioning. You're gonna start off with 45 double unders. Okay, so you can always practice those, okay? If you don't have double unders, we'll do single unders. When you're practicing those though, make sure you're staying in that hollow body position. We're keeping the elbows in, okay? And we're nice and rigid through that midline, okay? But we're moving through the legs. The wrists are relaxed as we're going. So whether you're doing single unders, double unders, that should be your position there. 45 of those. Then we've got dumbbell push press. Front rack position with your dumbbells. You're just going into a dip, drive, locking out, okay? Trying to get those dumbbells locked out over the shoulders, keeping the rib cage down. Yeah, okay? Then we've got 9 pull-ups. Okay, these would be kipping pull-ups if you have them. If not, we could use a band, okay? This is a different way to set up a band. You can put it on the rack here, step in, and then go through your pull-ups. This is not my favorite, okay? Because you're limited by the band a little bit, okay? So when you start to fail, sometimes you only get to about here, okay? I prefer more jumping pull-ups because you can use as much leg as you want and you can still get that full range of motion and then work on controlling you down through that. And that's all we have for Wednesday.